In space, there's two ticking time bombs, and they're getting closer by the second. Even though it has been a long time since these two are getting close to each other, but astronomers recently found out. In the 1950s, physicists discovered a weird energy in space, and the energy was found in places where there were no stars. These starless energy spots were called quasi-stellar radio source, and it was shortened to quasars. They quickly found out that these spots in space give off gamma radiation. They studied these quasars for years, but they couldn't figure out what they are. And then we get to the 1980s, and they finally realized that in the middle of these quasars, there's black holes. Supermassive black holes to be exact. Some of these quasars are not pointing towards us and we're seeing the side angle, but some of them are pointing directly at Earth. These types of quasars are called blazars. Blazars are one of the most powerful things found in the universe. If one of these blazars in the Milky Way is pointing directly at us and it decides to erupt, we have to say goodbye to the atmosphere. And as you know, if the Earth doesn't have an atmosphere, you gotta say goodbye to life. There's a quasar in space called PKS 2131-021. Let's shorten the name a little bit. 021. This quasar is 9 billion light years away from us. Astronomers have seen this quasar for a very long time and they've been studying it. But recently in 2021, they realized that this thing is a ticking time bomb. So what's the difference between this blazar to other blazars? They believe that in the middle of these blazars, there's black holes that are sucking all the matter in. And this reaction causes the black hole in the quasar to flash. But something strange is happening in 021, because at exactly 2 years, it flashes once. And what surprises physicists is that it's very organized and it's routine. And it's also good to know that quasars aren't very organized in their flashing, and they do it as they please. It seems like 021 is right on time every time. Another thing in space that flashes in a routine fashion is pulsars. But pulsars are flashing every second to every minute, but 021 flashes every 2 years, not every second. And plus, pulsars come from a neutron star, not like a black hole in a quasar. So we understand that these two have nothing to do with each other. There is a galaxy called OJ287, and in the middle of it, there's something weird going on. It's because two black holes are rotating around each other. One of the black holes is 100 million times the mass of the sun, but this is a prisoner to another black hole, and it's spinning around a black hole that's 18 billion times the mass of the sun. This reaction of two black holes spinning around each other causes this spot to flash in a routine fashion. It flashes once after 2 years, and the next time in 10 years, and then back to 2 years. But it's good to know that OJ287 is the only spot in the universe that we have found that two black holes are spinning around each other. And you could say it's extremely rare. Scientists believe that at PKS 2131-021, the same thing is occurring, but they realized that they were wrong. What does that mean? So what is happening there? Some of them use this analogy and say, imagine a very bright flashlight is pointed directly in your eyes. Obviously, you can't see a thing, but if the flashlight moves left or right, you can actually see now. So they say, okay, we can move a flashlight left to right, but a black hole is nothing like a flashlight. How do you move it left to right like that? The only thing that could move a supermassive black hole, like the flashlight analogy, it's another black hole. The black hole has to be the same size as that one, or even bigger. Physicists say that these two black holes are so close to each other and they're getting closer by the minute, and the chances of them colliding is very high. So what does this collision even have to do with us? Who cares? But astronomers say it has a lot to do with us. When two black holes of this size collide with one another, they have an effect in the entire fabric of space. Scientists compare this explosion to like a tsunami or an earthquake or a volcanic eruption that happens underwater. And if something happens underwater, a giant tsunami is formed. But in this analogy, instead of the water, it's a shock wave, and it moves at a speed of light throughout space. What can this shock wave do to us or Earth? A lot of astronomers are actually worried about this, but none of them actually have an answer on what would happen. Is it gonna destroy the atmosphere? Is it gonna destroy the electricity and internet? Or is it just gonna do nothing? Clearly, scientists are not gonna stop researching. So when is this collision actually happening? Scientists say it could happen today or 10,000 years from now. We can't put an exact date on it. Wait a minute, didn't we say that 021 is 9 billion light years away from us? That's extremely scary because they've obviously collided with one another, but the shockwave is on the way and it hasn't reached us yet because we're watching 9 billion years ago. Do you know what 9 billion years ago means? It means the solar system had not been formed yet. So in your opinion, do you think we have time to get ready for this shockwave? Yeah, I think we do have a lot of time, because even if the explosion happened, the shockwave is not gonna get to us anytime soon. So you can stop worrying about 021.